everyone. Welcome back to Effortless. So, today I want to talk about judgment. And as you're listening to this episode, because I've recorded some guest episodes coming up kind of around the same time, you're going to hear that judgment is like on my mind lately. So, I'm so excited to dive into it with you. Fear of judgment holds so many entrepreneurs back, and over time, really keeps them from making the impact and the income that they want to make. So, really quick, for those who don't know me, my name is Caitlin Kessler. I'm a mindset coach for business owners who are ready to shift into a more aligned, profitable, and effortless business. So, like I said, we're going to dive into judgment and how operating from a fear of judgment is holding you back from making the impact and income you desire to make in your business. My hope is by the end of this episode, you have a new outlook on judgment and actually begin to see it as a helpful thing. Does that sound good? Here is what happens most of the time. You avoid doing things like going live or sending that email or posting that thing because deep down, even if you haven't fully acknowledged it, you're scared of being judged. When I started my business, I found this fear to be debilitating when it came to telling people what I actually did. I would just kind of like trail off on my sentences, get really awkward, and never own up to the fact that I was growing and running my own business. So, anyway, if you haven't noticed fear of judgment popping up in your business, I would ask you to question why you resist doing things like sharing your content or your thoughts or stating your opinion on your expertise. What's really holding you back from that? Sometimes with clients, they'll answer things like, well, I just don't know what to say. And if you dig deeper and question if that's really true, more often than not, it's a lie. See, you know what to say. You just don't really want to say it because fear of judgment, right? The thing about fear of judgment is that we are absolutely convinced that it's like a very real thing and that people are judging us. And that's because we are judging everyone else and we're judging ourselves. Isn't that so ironic? We're so convinced that so-and-so will judge us and think mean things about us. But the truth is, we're already thinking all of those things about ourselves. And there's a good chance you're thinking something along those lines about someone else too. And it's okay. I'm not calling you judgmental. Truly, we all do it. And the reason that we all do it is because that's how we process our own internal ish. So there's a few ways that this breaks down. I want to give you some examples of how judgment can actually be really useful and helpful towards your growth. First, think about someone you really judge in this online space. What do you not like about them? There's a good chance that that's actually something you feel like you are lacking in, and you're feeling a little judgmental or jealous that they have so much of it. So rather than beat yourself up for being judgmental or spend a lot of time hating on them for no reason, just simply see it as data. I'll give you an example. There's someone in our kind of mindset-y, manifestation-y space online who I used to really judge. I thought that she was just like a little bit too casual, flighty, not serious enough. I thought she was making it just seem too simple and easy. And it turns out I was just really freaking jealous of that. And she was triggering this desire in me to be more lighthearted, to be more free, to let it be easier. So the judgment there was really just a way for me to access what it is that I desired that I was otherwise not acknowledging, right? Another part of judgment is acknowledging that most of the time we are presupposing judgment, but the truth is we rarely see it play out. Like you might think people are saying this or that, But you don't usually really like hear any of that in your actual reality. It's just all in your mind, right? So you're letting the fear of something unknown stop you from making the income and the impact you desire. But it's not a real fear. There's no real danger. And in knowing that, what anyone might judge you on is actually beneficial for their growth, right? So what's the harm in it then, right? Like using the example from earlier, the girl I used to judge, she never knew it, right? Like it was all in my head and all rooted in the need for me to acknowledge some part of my desire. And so, isn't it incredible that she did not let her fear of judgment hold her back from being herself so that I could have my own growth journey? Do you see how that plays out? People judging you is good for them. It's good for them to do that. It's good for them to have that journey and that experience. I know that's meta. I know that's weird. But the truth is, we all grow and develop through our relationships and through our reflections in others. That's how we can begin to understand ourselves and see ourselves. Everything is a projection of our internal world. So, someone triggering us into judgment is just an opportunity for us to go within and ask, why? Why is that happening? And work through our own stuff, right? And in that note, our internal world manifests and create our external reality. So let's say you put something out there in the world, some offer, some Instagram post, whatever, and you do receive any sort of judgment or negative feedback. Well, if you approach it like this, if you approach it as, okay, I create my external world. So those remarks or those comments or those DMs or whatever are really just a physical manifestation of my internal fears and doubts and worries on this subject matter. And that's information for me. That's information for me to process. Why am I believing this? Why am I doubting this? I know that can be a little confusing. So let's make an example. If you went up to Michael Jordan and you said, "You're a bad basketball player," he would not give a shit. He would be completely unaffected. Michael Jordan, I'm like 99-ish% sure, has no internal fears or doubts or worries about his ability to play basketball. So you saying that to him, you judging him, even if you really do believe it, doesn't affect him because he knows who he is. He is secure in who he is. He is secure in his abilities, right? But if someone came up to you and said, "Your offer is stupid," and deep down, you kind of thought your offer was stupid, well, yeah, that would hurt because it would be validating a fear that you have and making you think it's true and real and that all of your fears and all of your doubts and all of your worries were right. So the lesson here is that if and when there is judgment or negative feedback given to you and you feel affected or hurt or like, of course they would say this, I was so scared of that. Well, that's an opportunity to dig in and to do the work around why you don't believe in yourself or whatever it is that you're putting out there. It's an opportunity. It's a glimpse into your internal world, into your thoughts, into your beliefs. And those are the things that really matter. Is that making sense? A lot of this conversation is kind of dipping its toe into what you might have heard referred to as shadow work before. And in my experience and in my opinion, this is where the real deep work can happen and the real magic can happen in your growth and your development. This is where you start to access and to notice and to become aware and to see the things that you've maybe pushed down or avoided for a very long time and actually start to process and, maybe heal and work through things. So with all of that being said, can judgment actually serve you and help you to grow? I believe so. If you're interested in more of this conversation, we dive into judgment and a whole slew of other fears inside your subconscious success. That's my 30-day program that will let you develop your unstoppable mindset. It will increase your business impact and income too. If you want to learn more, head to yoursubconscioussuccess.com or check the show notes. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you have a beautiful day.